chilling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
That's a bit loud. A bit quieter. How goes it, everybody? Hello, Nino. Well, thank you for the luck, Whiskers. Just really hoping my... Hello, Ink. How goes it? As you can possibly see, I've gone with more of a still background for today. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear, Nino. You're doing work, lazy bastard. Cheers for dropping in, Nino. Either way, it goes okay. Huh? What are you up to, Ink? Anyway, we've been biding your time. Have you finished Rainworld yet? You've got to have finished it at some point. At some point, you've got to have finished Rainworld. Like I don't believe you if you say you haven't finished it yet. Actually, I don't believe you on that. Say you do. Says the guy who does nothing all day. I'm sorry, Nino. I didn't mean it. I love you, really. With 5, maybe 6 new slug cats in social campaigns. I've actually beat it numerous times before this and during this. Ah, fair goes. At least the chat delay is fixed now, so I can actually talk to you guys better. Because before that was absolute chaos. Just sitting there waiting for the chat to start working. Well, again, I've got no real plan for this stream today. I've really got to start planning for these streams. You've completed Gourmand, Artificer, and Rivlet. Rivlet, fuck. That one. Out of the new ones. What are those ones? Like I'm assuming Artificer is some sort of... similar to, like, D&D and shit. The old survivor monk and answer. I'll be Spearmaster and Saint. See, this is the time when you're actually teaching me how to rain world. There are also lookalikes with various abilities and stories. Artificer could craft explosive. That's what I was thinking that Artificer was. It just does not scratch the surface. No! No, you can't do this to me. You can't tell me a load of information and then just say, no, we haven't even got to the good stuff yet. I imagine so. I imagine you could be here all day. Well, I think there's only you here right now. I think everyone else has just come in for a minute, say hello, and then buggered off, so... You can hog the chat all you like. I don't really mind. Oh, how are you liking the new look? I'm quite happy with it. I'm not gonna say the gamer word. I'm not gonna do it. I've done 2 streams before and I've resisted the urge. It's not happening. You're not gonna make me do it. And if you type it in the chat, Nino, I will ban you. Don't make me do it. Okay, can you guys hear the background music okay? Give us a shout if it's too quiet. I won't do that to other streams. Oh yeah, except for the time where you told me you did that twice. The meme you're fetching is too loud. As I said, the stream chat delay seems to be, working quite nicely. I can actually talk to you guys properly. That was a genuine mistake, my arse. You don't just drop something like that. You don't. You had to specifically type that out. You couldn't just. It's not like it slipped out your mouth. No, you typed that out specifically. You can't just do that by accident. Unless you were trying to, like, spell the word night and you just went very badly with it. Oh, live on stream. Ah, fair enough. Should I put the Ringworld meme here for the others to appreciate it, or in DMs? Pop it in the chat. I don't really mind. I'm not big enough to be a dick about it. I genuinely don't. Like, if you read the description of the stream, it just says the chat rule is just don't be a dick. That's it. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yes, the Rain World Lord does go brrrr. Brrrr, something like that. I'm trying to find a good time slot for everybody because, some people aren't going to be, around at this sort of time. They're busy during the day. But it is somewhat late. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, like streaming toes anyway. I think 8 o'clock is a good time for this. Yesterday's stream I did at like 4. I was way too early. No one turned up, except for your good self, Ink. Oh fuck, I've run out of a drink. Oh shit. Well, Nino, I'm probably never going to allow you on this channel for the exact reason of, you know, some getting a bit excited, getting a bit too much. You may get me cancelled. I don't know why Streamlabs is telling me I've only got one viewer. Trust me, I'm a brand. I 100% believe you on that. Yeah, I am surprised that the sponsors have stuck with you as long as they are, because your sponsors just like how did they... Yes, you've told me that you deliberately tried to get rid of them, and they're just like, nah, he's cool. No, he's one of them Europeans. He can't be a dick to anyone. Oh, I've been hearing all that stuff about like England is now like officially being sort of separated from the European Union. Like before, it was more like, you know, nah, we're just messing about with it, but now it is actually true. For example, you'll require like a visa to go into Europe, and those seeking asylum that came into the country illegally are going to be now turned away entirely. Yeah, she did tell me about that story. Yes, I'm not sure if that's that story is safe for work. Oh yeah, a visa is necessary after a couple of months of stay. But what I'm saying is, if I wanted to fuck over to France, for example, like before, I could just do that and stay for a bit of an holiday. I'd need my passport, but I wouldn't need a visa. But now I do require a visa to do so, which is going to be a bit of a pisser. All it means is it's going to be a lot trickier for me to come visit my boy Nino. Come mess up all his shit, and touch all of his stuff. Well, yeah, that's because this is being enforced soon. It's not enforced now, but soon enough it will be a case of that you. Yeah, it is a case of that. It's becoming a thing that you will need a passport. You just needed your passport and a dream, and you could roll into any European country you wanted. Yes, Ink, I do forgive you for for the curse of being an American. Yeah, exactly. Like you could, like Nino, you can travel literally anywhere you want. You could go wherever you like. You want to nip over to Germany? Go for it. You want to nip over to France? Go for it. Doesn't matter. But now they're enforcing the rules of that if you want to go to any country in the European Union, if you're British, your British passport gives you no things on this, and I'm assuming it goes the other way around. Anyone from the European Union would require a visa to enter the country now. Which is a bit weird. I'm not sure why they're doing this. Well, another thing I'm not sure why they're doing is that the whole Netflix password sharing thing. I'm not sure why they're doing that at all. Seems like a bad idea in the first place. I think it's just a case of that they wanted to. Does it affect Ireland as well as the UK and Scotland? Because everybody needs to know. It affects any country that is under the UK. So if a country is not in the UK, I don't think it affects them. For example, you know, like Northern Ireland is part of the UK, but the rest of it isn't. So I don't think they would count. Yeah, Netflix brought that back. That's good because I don't pay for my Netflix. I just steal my sister's, and I don't want to have to start paying for Netflix. They're doing their thing with Netflix because they want more money and they think people share an account. Well, that actually did. That's the problem, is that they announced this shit and suddenly they started dropping money immediately. They had like no choice but to roll it back. It's one of those moves that countries make. Countries. We're talking about countries and fucking Netflix. That Netflix has made, like companies make. That backfires so badly that they have to roll it back immediately and possibly even roll it forward slightly. In a sense that they have to like change it. They either have to try and change it if they want to implement it, or just abandon it entirely. It's like that thing where they wanted to create restrictions on the internet. You probably know the thing I'm on about. Dropping the description uses collective power to teach them a lesson. That is true. And anyone listening to this immediately can use your collective power to give me a subscription, please. I need the subscriptions. Do it. I promise I won't hurt you. In Nino's case, I will hurt you. But yes, where they were trying to like. No, you bastard. You bastard, come on! I've done nothing but give. Nothing but give. I only asked for just one little measly... Oh, you bastard. I promise I won't hurt you. I do. I do. Have I hurt you up to now? Please tell me if I have. I will probably laugh about it. See, now the chat is working a lot better. I am actually able to keep up with your conversation. I like how this needed to be said and was immediately contradicted. No, you haven't. Only emotionally, but I'm used to it. Yeah. What the fuck is the TT part? It's me showing my age a little bit. You know, I need answers. I don't understand you crying face Jake. No, my chat's turning against me now. Oh, it's a crying face. Fair enough. That's a terrible way to do that. Like, there's actual fucking emojis you can use for that shit. I don't understand the point of using text for this. Whee! Ninopolis has joined the Empire. You're now in. Now you can't escape. You're taking away your European rights. Yes, I know you're not 5, but what I'm saying is that I don't understand certain text ones. Like they often aren't as easy to understand as you'd think. Don't get me wrong. I don't exactly use it like emojis, other than like emotes on Discord, but they're more for just memeing. Such as when I created all those ones for the Hat Guy Discord. Essentially, just to mock people. I don't think Nikki's happy with me of me creating that emote of her crying face. I think she might actually be campaigning to get rid of me. I can't use half of my Discord emotes or GIFs. Yeah, I know. I have occasionally used your Discord, like, emotes, like the very tame ones that mean, like, nothing. Like, no one will ever understand. And that's only, like, 1 or 2 of them. I know most of your emotes are a bit questionable. Well, I think this setup seems to be working. Yeah, there's like 3 safe. I can agree with that. My favourite one that I stole as a PNG, so I can use it without nitro, is the one of extreme agony emoji with the laser eyes and heavy deep frying. It's such. You might have to send me that one. You might have to send me that one, Ink. I need more emotes. I have like a small handful. Well, the Hat Guy server didn't have any emotes at all. And so I sort of took it upon myself to create some. I felt like it was a bit weird. Not even to have like one. So, you know, they're all relevant anyway, so not like I've just put in a load of bullshit. But as I said, Ink, you may need to send me that one. I feel like I need that in my life. I think this just chatting stuff seems to be working out quite nicely. In a sense, anyway. Oh, I've seen it now. I've seen it now. I think I've actually seen the first one before. I haven't seen the... I don't think I've seen the second one. Send and sent. Like either one of those would be fine, and I would have understand what you're on about. Yeah, I should mention, if you do send me something... if you do send me something in, like, Discord or something, like, give us a heads up in the chat, because I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, specifically, so you can't hear my phone going off in the background. And also, I don't have my Discord open because it just saps my CPU while I'm trying to stream. So yes, keep that in mind. I think I will be keeping this one short again. I'd rather not, you know, make this stream too long. Hello, Slimes. Hello, how goes it? How have you been? Slimes, as you can probably tell, the chat delay seems to be fixed to some of a degree. But yes, to anyone of you who don't know, Ink, you know this, that I'm just going to be like naming every stream test stream, just for the goof, essentially. But yes, as I said, I'm not going to be making this stream too long, as I don't need it to be long. Doesn't need to be the longest stream going. And everything seems to be very stable. The previous stream was just absolutely balked. everything just kept like freezing and lagging, and it was absolute chaos. But I've just stripped it back to the basics, try to focus on what's important right now. And I think I will be going with, as you can tell, like I've got like a little sort of fantasy tavern as a background. I think I'm going to go try and aim towards having that as a theme. As a case of just come in and come and just chat with your boy, you know. Come have a beer, have a sit down, just enjoy the ambience. It's also why I've got the music going as it is. Unfortunately, I don't actually have a real fireplace. Oh no. What? Why is that one called Slagony? That's not a word. Slagony. I might start using that. I think the main problem with being a just chatting streamer is that Slugcat plus agony. I did pick up on that. It's just a case of that the word of it itself kind of makes me giggle, mainly because, you know, there's an insult over here calling someone a slag, and so slagony just made me slightly giggle. Yeah, the main issue with being a just chatting streamer is that you do need people to chat with. Now, obviously, your people are amazing people. Come see me in my time of need. But the thing is that there's only so much I can waffle on before eventually I just run out of stuff to talk about. So if there is anything you wish to talk about, any topics or points of conversation you wish to talk about, do not hesitate to put them in the chat. I would be very interested to chat about certain topics with you. Yeah, I think Slimes has been, you know, hanging around for a little bit now. Yeah, Slimes, I asked how you are, and I didn't get a response. I feel insulted. I feel persecuted. Only Ink is allowed to be, you know, asked how they are. Jake, I could talk about Rainfall for 6 hours, but the question is, does anyone want to hear about the esoteric details in Esoteric Game? That does sound like an interesting idea, Nino. Is just picking picking a chat and a topic and making the whole thing, basically the whole thing about it. The problem is that I have to pick the topic, to some degree. Yes, Ink, I know you can dispense buggy facts on demand. As I said, I have to pick the subject to some degree. Like, there's some games that I could sit here and talk about all day. But it's a case of, like, if people want to hear about me talking about that. Similar to what Ink was talking about. The fact that she could talk about, you know, Rain World for 6 hours. It's just a case of, does anyone actually give a shit? Well, Nino, since you're chiming in, pick a game and I'll see what I can do about conversating about it. Go for it. Talk Fallout. Talk Fallout Souls. Like put you. You know, I'll pick Fallout. A lot of people don't like the third for some reason, and I don't know why. It seems to confuse me slightly, because 3 was quite good, and I do know that I know it was essentially the first 3D one after the first 2. You know, like everyone wanted the third one to be made by Interplay. But it just wasn't in the cards, was it? And so I think a lot of people give a lot of shit to the third game, specifically because it was on the back of 2 fantastic games. And that is kind of the problem often at times, is that games do. Yes, 3 is good. The problem with it is a watered down retelling of 1, and it's a very similar game. Really, in a game for them meant to be open world. I do get that. I do understand that. I do understand that. You know, that 3 isn't what people wanted. But you've always got to take into consideration is that the series basically would be dead if Bethesda didn't take it over. So it was like, have a super mutant immune to radiation. Why do I have to push the button? Well, they did fix that. They fixed that in the DLC. You know, when they added Broken Steel, I believe it was. They did add the ability to make those characters who are immune to radiation go push the button in your stead. And so I feel like they did actually fix that. But to be perfectly honest, you probably shouldn't make it so you have to have a DLC in order to get the ending fixed. Oh yes, New Vegas. Like, I've recently been playing New Vegas on this very computer, and it's been a nostalgia trip out my house. I've been enjoying it like in Rats Enjoyed the Plague. Well, they probably didn't enjoy the plague. A big fix to DLC sounds rude. It is. It was a bit rude. It's like these things have happened before with DLCs. Does anyone remember what's that game? Azora's Wrath, where they put the actual ending in the DLC. Not like just like a fix for the DLC. Just the whole ass ending in the DLC. Oh, that shit was wild. Games and DLC, like they're fucking mad. I can agree with you, Dino, that New Vegas is one of the best games ever. And then holy, yeah. I thought it was Azora's Wrath. Howie Zowie. I said the thing live on air. I go, if there is a word you wish me to say out live on air, please type it in brackets in the chat, and I shall get on to that as soon as possible. As long as it isn't anything too rude or something you shouldn't be saying online. Nino. But yes, the games. The Fallout 4 was very, I think, similarly was. Okay. Pee pee poo poo. There you go. Are you happy now? Yes, I specifically aimed for you, Nino. Went for the throat on that one. But yes, I think 4 was similarly maligned. It was missed potential. But I think it did bring a lot in of itself. I think the improvement to power armor was a tour de force, because it made power armor make a bit more sense of it being more like a vehicle rather than just like a jacket and some trousers you put on. Like, that never made any sense. Like, this power armor, but you're wearing it like a suit. What makes it power? What's the power part? Well, it seems that Ink got a bit of a chuckle out of that. I kind of do want them to make a Fallout 5, but I also don't at the same time. The gunplay is amazing in 4, the power armor is great, and the world looks very pretty, but it's basically all the positives of... Yes, the gameplay of it, like the gunplay, is actually more up to date. You know, you can peek round corners, you can do all the stuff. And the power armor, as I said, works as it probably should. And it does look a lot better than the previous games. But, as you say, that's it. That's all they've got. Yes, the dialogue was... so weak. I think adding a voice character was a mistake. Because it kind of removes your roleplay options. Which kind of annoys me. Especially... You know, Nino, when the game originally came out, you can only play as a good character. That's kind of one of my big issues. They removed the karma system. You only play as good character. You can do evil things. You can run around murdering every NPC you see. At least those ones you can. But the problem is that in dialogue choices, you always come across as being somewhat of a nice guy. Even the quote-unquote not good options, like, they're still just a bit dickish. They're not actually evil. Yes, voice protagonists can work, but in games like that, so much effort, it's so much of the dialogue. Yeah, it's the dialogue choices. The dialogue choices are so important. Because they bring across your character. And so you want to have as many dialogue choices as possible. But the problem is if you have the character voiced, you can't do that. You can't have like 10 different choices, because there'll be so much strain on the voice actors. Because they would have to record thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking lines to be able to get that right. Like, it would be so much work for them. And so not having them voiced works a lot better. It worked all the way up until 4. Like, no one ever moaned about the silent protagonist. Up until, 4, when they actually made them voiced. Then suddenly it became a big problem. Programmers will be done with the whole game before the voice actors. Yeah. That's what I mean. Is like the voice actors will be taking so it would be so much strain on them, and voice actors already, especially for games, they just get shit on so much. It's like they're the character. They do the things. You can't just expect them to just be treated like a piece of shit. Especially when there's some of the bigger ones. Like, even some of the bigger ones. They still get treated like shit. And the amount of, actors. Actors in movies and things like that have just gone like, alright, I'll do some voice acting. But then in reality, they sound like shit because they just sound like them. Well, yeah, I do. Some actors do have that. Like, I am the main character, you are the character. They do they do have that. Yes, the Bayonetta thing. Yes. That's the worst part, is that I don't even like Bayonetta. And so as a result, I have no stakes in the battle. But no one would shut up about it as being a big thing. This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I live a somewhat laissez-faire lifestyle. If it doesn't interest me, I'm not going to pay attention to it. It's nothing to do with me. I don't care. And so that encompasses us so much, like politics, you know, fucking drama, things like that. I don't care. Like, I genuinely just don't care. So, why would I pay attention to them? This is actually an interesting one. Is that, you know, when the Queen died? I know I've been kind of going all over the place now. I was meant to be on a topic. But you know when the Queen died? Oh, yes. Yeah, she did just lie about the whole thing. Treat me better, okay, stop lying. But yes, you know when the Queen died? I was in a... I was talking to people. I was talking to people, and they were saying, like, oh, it's so sad that she's gone. She's so sad. Oh, you must be feeling terrible. And I was just like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I didn't know her. I didn't know her personally. But they were just like, no. It's, you're repressing your emotions. I was like, what the fuck are you on about? Don't put emotions in my head. I should probably get back onto Fallout. I've kind of diverted a little bit. But yes, Nino, for example. Like, Nino, what's your opinion on the Super Mutants in general? Yeah, I would make such jokes if the climate around it was so obviously nobody's that upset about it. Was not so obvious. Oh, you type too fast. Your typos. Your typos have got typos. That's when you know you've got a problem. Is when you type a typo out, and then you try and correct it, but then you end up creating another typo. I don't mind the Super Mutants in newer games, but they've lost a lot of their edge from 1 and 2, I think. I do see what you mean. That's the kind of thing I was going to get onto. I personally haven't played 1 or 2. Because I've not really been much of a PC man myself. I've had computers, I've just never really used them. This is the more recent as time is when I've been starting to use computers more. Bumbling dummies or look me smart despite being mute. Yeah, I do still understand what you're on about. 3 was very much that. Like, every mutant was dumb as fuck, except for that one guy. I think his name was Leo. And Forks, of course. Is them being smart. And that's their, like, whole personality. But Wolf 3 had a lot of that kind of stuff. Like the whole thing around ghouls, for example. There was like a big sort of like racism thing around them. Of everyone treating ghouls like shit. Because, you know, everyone just calling them zombies. Things like that. People like just treating them badly. And weirdly, that kind of stuff disappeared in, like, New Vegas, and 4. it was just a bit odd that it was like 3 was very focused on the Ghoul angle. Of it being like a racism thing, and they just suddenly disappeared, which is a bit odd. But yes, I do have. I missed the risk taken. They spared no details on how horrifying the world was in the original. The new games just leaned into more of the humoristic. I almost said humoristic aspects of the series. They took the black comedy and made it well, yes. I do get what you mean. Which is why I actually do own Fallout 1. I do plan to play it one of these fucking days. Oh, I recently was on Steam and I was looking through a few things. And I found this game, and I think I can't quite remember what it was called. I think I can find the name. And it was like a gladiator type game, and I was like, I quite like gladiators. I think they're pretty cool. Yes, it's We Who Are About to Die. That's the name of the game. I think gladiators are pretty cool, and it sounded like a pretty cool game. I checked the requirements on it, like the system requirements, and the system requirements were just like barely anything. Like, you didn't need anything to run this game. And I was like, oh, I'm all over that, like a dog eating hot chips. And so I bought it, I downloaded the thing, and as soon as I booted it up, it suddenly ran like absolute dog shit. Like, it just ran terribly. I even turned all the settings down, and it didn't fix it. And I was just like, why? What's going on? What was going on with this game? And I still now don't even know what's going on with it. I got a refund for it because I was just like, I felt cheated in a sense. Because the system requirements were like, they said they were so low, but why is this game running like shit? Which is a whole thing. Early access bad optimization. Yes, that does seem to be the case. It was an early access game, and so I knew kind of what I was getting into, but from the videos and things, it seemed like the game ran fine. And so I think, but as I said, I requested the refund, and I got it through. It came back and said your refund has been successful. So, you know, I'm quite happy with that. But I don't know. I still feel somewhat cheated about that, because I don't know. I feel like PC gaming is just a bit more complex than it lets on. Because, like, when you buy a game on, like, PlayStation, for example, or, like, on console, you just buy the game, you download it, and it's fine. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to, like, ooh, do I have the things for it? Do I have the right requirements? Do I have the right graphics card? Do I have the right processor? Do I have the right fucking operating system? Like, you don't have to think about any of this shit when you just get a console. It's just plug and play, literally. I don't know, it's just, this is a lot more complicated than I'd like. Well, we're actually coming up on an hour. That's surprising. I was going to make this one similarly short. I could probably keep going for a bit longer. Nah, dude, PC Master Race, even though 9 out of 10 times there's driver issues and it runs like ass, and AMD doesn't work, and some games in Intel doesn't work, and others. That's my point, is that so much shit just goes wrong. And you guys know about the whole the PC ports. Anytime they try to port a game that was originally made for console, they try to port it over to the PC. And it just runs like ass. It's choppy. It's so choppy. Like the Arkham Knight one, for example. That one was notorious. Notorious for just being absolute shit. Ugh. I've been waffling on for so long. But that is kind of the point of being a chatting streamer rather than being a gaming streamer or a reacting streamer or something like that. Is that I am meant to waffle on a little bit. But I think I have this PC is a nightmare of logistics. I understand. I know you come from a bit of a background of that kind of stuff, Nino. So I go, hey Chad. I go, fuck it, doing it live. I go, Sony's infrastructure is a mess. Trust me. Yeah, I get that. The path of the just chatting streamer is a meandering one. I do get what you mean. But I think I could definitely sort of settle into this kind of thing because I can waffle on for a long. A Divid has many waffles. It is can be the best kind of stream where you just get to chat to your boy, just chilling out. That's why in the background thing I've just got a little message saying sit back and chill out because that's the whole point. Like that's what I'm doing. I'm just sat in my chair, facing my microphone and just enjoying a nice sit down and a nice chat with the homies. You know what? Oh, I'm gonna immediately implement these rules. You have to drop me a tenner every time you want to DM me. I'm glad to be able to drop in and just say what's up. Well, thank you for dropping in. It's quite nice to see you, Chad. But don't feel don't feel like you have to sit in the chat and just you can just listen to me talking on for a bit, talking about various subjects. It's absolutely fine. You know what? In honor of Chad turning up and saying hello, I will talk about the game series of Resident Evil because I do have some thoughts. Resident Evil 4, for example, wasn't as good as people say it was. I'm just going to leave that there for a moment. Because it does have so many problems. You could... I had a discussion with a friend of mine. And we were talking about the remake. Yes, I think we were talking about the remake. And we were just we kept pointing out the bad stuff unintentionally, and we just realised that is Resident Evil 4 a bad game? Like, we can like it for nostalgic purposes, but is it actually a good game? It's just very odd. But yes, I do remember your streams of that, Chad. Is that it was just you were having so many troubles with it. I think that was probably a lot to do with the fact that you were playing the Wii version. It's not exactly the best version to play of it, but I know what you mean. It's just like you respect the game, but it's like you've just never played it yourself. There's a lot of games, personally, that I can respect their existence, but I've never really played them. But like Resi 2 is a classic. I will say the remake was a bit disappointing. A tiny bit, little bit. I think it was mainly due to the fact that they kind of abandoned some of the sort of basic things for it. They erased some of the things from it. You know, like the A and B systems. They basically, that was just like cut down to nothing, essentially. Instead of it being like an actual story interwoven between two characters, it was just, oh yes, you can either play the story as this character or this character. There wasn't much difference between them. It just seemed like a bit of a waste of time. And as I said, it was just like they cut out certain stuff. Really, I thought Resi 2 remake was fantastic, but I have no prior knowledge of the original, so I know they cut 8% of the content out of the original. Well, as I said, they did a similar thing to the Resi 2 remake. Is that they cut out a chunk of content from it. There's certain things that weren't meant to be there. Or they overly... for example, Mr. X, he was cut out of it. He wasn't cut out of it. He was only in a small portion of the original. But Resident Evil, in Resi 2 Remake, he was put focused. Oh yes, the 3 remake was like the Resident Evil 2 remake was good, but it did have its downsides. But the 3 remake, good God, what did they do to that game? Like, what did they do to Nemesis? What did they do to him, my boy? Like look how they massacred my boy. Like, don't get me wrong, it looked good. Like, it looked good, but that was it. That's all it had. And that's all it would ever have. They cut so much. Oh, I don't know if she'll get to that point, because it's somewhat later into the game. It's not like, because I don't know how much Nikki's gonna play, because you know she's a kind of averse to the spooks. You know, she's and so I don't know how far she'll actually make it. I don't think she'll make it past the I don't think she'll get to the first Birkin fight. Birkin? Nothing? The G fight. What am I on about? The G fight. You know, the first G fight. I don't think she'll get to that point. Because, and I think, if I remember correctly, Mr. X is after that. So I'm not sure if she'll be able to make it that far. Who's to say? Nikki is a competent gamer when she wants to be. But when she's trying to listen in, no, she's trying to get the secrets. Oh no, I was no, Nikki, if you're listening, I was just talking about you know, all sorts of stuff. I was just talking about like flowers and bunny rabbits. Nothing related to anything. She heard that and lolled. Well, I'm glad you two are playing Resident Evil Remake. At the very least, I think Nikki will enjoy it, regardless of if she can hear me now. Just talking about the boys. I swear, we were just, oh no. Talking about boys stuff. No ladies in this one. No. We were talking about our bollocks. So like Nino, like what's the general shape of your bollocks? You know, more round, or are we going for more of a sort of oblong? I should probably stop talking about this now before I get fucking deleted off YouTube. I'm just gonna alienate my entire audience by just talking about the most random shit. Fucking awful. Fuck's sake. That was a joke topic. No, we're not talking about it. We're not talking. Yes, I know. I know the Switch picture was more on a warm day. Which, if anyone doesn't know this, Nino has actually sent me a picture of his a picture of his bollocks, and I have seen it. And so, as a result, what is oblong or perhaps no, Ink, no, don't fall into it. No, we were talking about normal things, you know, flowers, puppies. No, Ink, no. Oh, I've corrupted Ink now. Oh god. Oh fuck! I'm just gonna end the stream. Let's get end the stream. I can't come back from this. I can't return from this shit. Well, I think I'm going to go for a tiny bit longer, and then I'm probably going to end the stream. And so let's think of one last topic to talk about, regardless of the egg conversation. You know what, Ink? Give us some bug facts. You know, chuck us some bug facts in the chat. Because that could be a good bit of interest for anyone. And while Ink does that, I don't get the whole thing with spiders. You know where people are like afraid of them? I don't get it. Earwigs are not named for crawling into ears. Ooh, what are they named for? Like, where did the names come from? But yes, I don't get the whole thing with being afraid of spiders. You got a roach-infested 360 not too long ago. Derives from their wings being somewhat ear-shaped. Okay, fair enough. That name kind of makes it. You open it up to fix a Wi-Fi issue, and you just found a whole ass like nest. It's like, where did you even get that from? Like 100? Oh god, no! 100 roaches? What? No. Oh god. That does sound like an absolute nightmare. Like, how did they even get in there? Like why? It instilled a small fear in me, but I'm caught in most by the big hairy ones can fuck. But that's the worst part, is the big hairy ones, like the massive tarantulas. They're actually they're actually generally the least dangerous. They can sometimes be very aggressive, but most of them are very harmless. Well, actually, it depends on the ones you kind of get. Like, for example, New World tarantulas are they're quite tame. They generally are the most tame. But the little ones, the old worlds are generally the most like aggressive. Like, if you've ever seen any sort of tarantula content on YouTube, like if you've ever seen an old world go at you, you're like, ooh, Like, they lean up, they go into the threat posture, where they lift up, like, all the front legs and bare their fangs at you. And then they'll use the stridulation to try and, like, get you off. Yeah, that does kind of sound like a bit of a nightmare, Chad. Got black widows and brown recluses. Because they are somewhat dangerous. I say somewhat, that's kind of putting it a bit, you know, a bit lightly. I will at some point have to stop naming these streams test streams, but for now, it's kind of making me giggle, so I'm just going to keep referring to them as test streams. But yes, as I say, like I don't get where the fear comes from with spiders. Like, okay, yeah, they can be a bit spooky because they're small and they move fast. You say this as a person who picks up wasps barehanded. Yes, I know you do. Like, Ink. I know you just look completely insane when it comes to... let's see. The recluse bite is necrotic. Can be painless for a long time, but that's what's scary about it. Yeah. You probably... You might not even notice that you've been bit if you've been bit in an area where you can't really see. I still love when my homely drunkenly fell into a bush while putt-putting and heard him scream, "Orbs, fucking orbs," because there was hundreds of orb weeder spiders in the bushes. The orb weeder spiders are very weird. They're very odd spiders. I still, okay, yeah, I've been talking about, like, oh no, yeah, you shouldn't be afraid of spiders. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's more of a case of I don't really understand them. But there is a spider that I am afraid of, and Chad, does know the one I'm on about, is that the fucking, the ogre spider. That one kind of just freaks me out. The look of it kind of freaks me out. They are cool as fuck, though. Drunk Aussies and mini golf. Drunk Aussies and anything is a combination to be praised. You just put Aussies in a room with anything, like drunk Aussies in a room with anything, and it suddenly becomes comedy gold. You could just ask a drunk Aussie, as like, oh yeah, nip down the shop and go get me a pint of milk. And it would turn into fucking comedy gold immediately. I think spiders should be given healthy respect. Don't hurt them, don't fear them, but respect that a rare few of them can be dangerous and you should be careful with them. That is a good point. I'll give you that. Is that you should have some respect. You should respect them but not fear them. Oh, I do apologise for coughing. The problem is that you can't keep a distance from them. It's not like, oh no, I can have a healthy respect for lions because I don't have to deal with them. I don't live near lions. But like, there's always spiders around you. You can't avoid them. There's no way to avoid them, and so as a result, it's kind of hard to have a opinion or like a positive opinion of them if you're constantly seeing these little horrible things, especially the dangerous ones. You know, like we've all seen the pictures of someone from like Australia looking inside their shoe, like looking inside their shoe. And the shoe has just got like a deadly spider in it. Learn how to properly catch spiders. with a cup and paper or a broom. Yeah, I do get that. It's the same with a lot of insects, is that it's better to catch them and catch and release instead of just deleting them. But it can be hard sometimes because some of them really do not want to be caught. It can be a bit difficult. Yeah, in Aussie land, they're everywhere. It's not. Yeah, as I said, it's everywhere actually, regardless of if you're. I saw more spiders in 2 weeks there than in my life in my own country. I still can't believe scorpions have taken up in this area. Interesting. Is there any particular reason why scorpions have suddenly just become a thing in your area? I mean, I guess the situation of risk of deadly spider in shoe for real. I would just let my OCD run rampant and check my shoes and stick mudroom to move spiders with. Rednecks and scorpions don't mix. That is true. Rednecks and a lot of things don't mix. Scorpions have had enough, they're taking it over. With an ironic ruling it with an iron claw. No, it's too late, Chad. It's too late, it's already happening. The scorpion regime is happening. Well, I think I'm going to start winding this down a bit. I go, thank you all for coming and sticking with me through this hour and 20 minutes of rambling. I'm not going to ask for any subscriptions, any likes, anything like that. I don't care. I'm just happy you guys turned up. Go home. Damn it, Chad. I was having a sincere moment there. Well, it's been nice hanging out with you all, so I shall definitely be seeing you next stream, hopefully. Yeah, maybe. The fates align. Shove it. God damn it, Chad! I'm trying to have him. I'm trying to end the stream. Stop doing this to me. Is this just because I bully you at your streams? This is just because of that, isn't it? I feel attacked because of this. I knew this was going to happen. I knew it as soon as... What the fucking... The stream forward.